We going?
The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! And this one will last a lifetime.
Welcome to the Morning Skate.
Welcome to the Morning Skate, episode 350. Not really a matinee, just kind of an early home game for Brownie and myself. We're recording 6 o'clock Friday, November 22nd. Brownie, how's it going, buddy?
I'm good, bud. I was up on a roof with headlamp on up until about 40 minutes ago. But yeah, good times.
I love that. Just ready to hop right in. We have a lot to talk about. Obviously, the first thing that we always do is we kind of go over our mea culpa. Shout out to Jesse, by the way. Can't make this pod. You'll see him soon, but let's do mea culpas.
Hi, this is Mea Culpa, and I'm here to introduce the Morning Skates Mea Culpas with Ked and Brownie.
All right, Brownie.
Pretty
You're on
clean,
the
man.
ice. Your line's up. Here we go.
Pretty clean last game.
Okay.
Remember we talking about
Yep.
EJ got in that fight.
Yep.
It was with Giovanni Smith.
Love that. Good
Did
call.
you get that right? Did you get that?
No, I don't think I had the name.
Okay.
Hey, I have a question. So, like, when we do this podcast, do you like listen to it and then you're like, "Hey, we fucked up there"? Like, as we're going, do you write? How do you remember this shit?
Some of them I write down as we go. I have 2 friends that tell me everything we messed up, which I believe is the highlight of their weeks. And then sometimes I'll listen. It depends. Like if something, like it depends what we talk about. If I listen or not, I find like it annoys me to listen because I hear myself going and it's just like it's annoying.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, all right. Giovanni Smith, love it.
And then our update on Ashton Genty from Boise State. The team is now 9-1. He currently has 256 carries for 1,893 yards, 26 touchdowns, a 7.4 average, and 189 yards a game. I'm not the biggest college football guy, but he's got to be in Heisman contention. Him and that guy who plays both ways.
Yeah. So, like, these are video game numbers.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It's crazy. You don't really see that. Shout out to him. Tennessee's out of the playoff right now, which I'm kind of a
I
little
still don't
bummed about.
understand how you're a Tennessee fan, but
Go Vols, Rocky Top. All right. Enough with college football. NHL news.
Hi, this is Mea Culpa, and I'm here to introduce the Morning Skates Mea Culpas with Ked and Brownie.
Okay, so that's a mea culpa on itself. We're just gonna roll with it. NHL the news. Here we go. Washington, Ovechkin. The watch was heating up, and although he's currently out with a broken leg and expected to miss 4 to 6 at the earliest, he was on a torrid pace before getting sidelined. Wayne Gretzky had 894 goals in 1,487 games played. Ovi was at 866 goals at 1,443 games played. If he could have scored 29 goals in his next 44, he would have hit 895 in fewer games, which is insane.
Yeah.
He was sustained that hit by Jack McBain, who's now on a watch list for Putin. Good call. I mean,
would you notice how many people fall out of windows that mess with the Russian government?
I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked by it.
So if I was Utah, I'd be staying in first floor hotels only.
Yeah. Very unfortunate, weird play.
It wasn't. I don't believe it didn't look malicious in any way, shape, or form.
I think it was just a collision. I think it was like an accident. It was just.
I think he was looking the other way. And hey, shout out to McBain.
Yeah.
Even though it was accidental, he still fought Tom Wilson.
Yep. It kind of reminded me. Do you remember a couple years ago when Tavares was in the playoffs and he got knocked out? I want to say by Corey Perry.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? And then
Corey Perry fought, even though it wasn't. Yeah.
Who did he fight? Foligno?
Yeah, I think it was Foligno. So this must have been 4 years ago, 5 years ago, before Foligno. Yeah, the one.
You know what I mean? It was a thing where it's like shit that sucks that it happens, but like something's gonna be done for it regardless of X or not. So good on him staying in there.
Yeah.
This is crazy. So Connor McDavid reached 1,000 points in the 4th fewest games played. That in itself is crazy. Wayne Gretzky 424 games. Mario Lemieux 513.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Wayne Gretzky got to 1,424. He got his second 1,000 less than Mario. It was somewhere in the 400s.
Yeah.
So it's insane. But go ahead. Sorry, Mario.
Mario 513. Mike Bossy 656 are the only players faster than McDavid. Shout out to Mike Bossy for being on that list. Pretty cool.
Yep.
And he edged out Peter Stats, and he's 682. To put that in perspective, so guys, we always talk about how good McDavid is, right? And everybody talks about how good Matthews is. Matthews is a goal scorer. He's a hell of a player, right? I think a lot of people would kind of consider McDavid maybe Matthews number 2, maybe McKinnon, what have you. To put it in perspective, Austin Matthews would need 340 points in his next 84 games played to match McDavid's pace.
Yeah.
That's what type of level this guy is on compared to.
Yeah, McDavid kills penalties. Does Matthews?
Matthews, I understand your hate for him. You don't like him, but you can't. He's a fucking unreal hockey player. It's just crazy.
Yeah, from his own blue line forward. Yeah,
340 in his next 84.
Yep,
crazy. They also picked up Kasperi Kapanen on the waivers. That's the Oilers from St. Louis.
Yep.
San Jose, in a recent trip to the Garden or to New York City, Sharks had practice at Chelsea Pier, and since there were no private locker rooms there, pros mix with pigeons on a regular basis. Head coach Ryan Worofsky invited 65-year-old Harold Robinson onto the sheet with the Sharks, and the Beer League beauty obliged took a few clappers from the boys. Chelsea Pier is kind of a cool rink.
Have you ever played there?
Mm-hmm. That was NYU's home rink. So when I played at Siena, we would play those guys. And you're on the bench and you turn around and it's got to be the ocean, right? That's the water that would be there, correct?
The harbor, yeah.
Yeah, you turn around, it's right there.
Huh.
It's like you're kind of in like a little bubble.
Is it really on a pier?
It must be. If you turn around, the water's there.
Well, it would have to be on both sides. Otherwise, it just could be abutting a lake or whatever. But yeah.
It's pretty cool. And also good on the San Jose Sharks coach for doing that.
Yeah, and good on for this guy. And it was funny too. I don't know if you saw the clip. They were not holding back. I'm sure they were, but they were taking big back scratches. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. So that was a good coach, bad coach. The Boston Bruins fired head coach Jim Montgomery, the savior, and replaced him with associate head coach, the second savior, Joe Sacco, on an intern basis. With Montgomery fired, all 3 finalists for the coach of the year in 2023 are no longer with their teams. That's Dave Haxtell with Seattle, Lindy Ruff in New Jersey, and Montgomery. We'll talk about Montgomery when we get to Bruins talk, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. I've done my research.
Okay, cool. Seth Jones is out indefinitely after already missing a week due to right foot injury.
Did you know he was out?
I don't pay attention to Seth Jones.
I know, but he's their best defenseman. I had no idea he was out.
Yeah, not a clue.
Yeah.
I did know this one. JT Miller has taken an indefinite leave of absence from the team for personal reasons. JT Miller, man, hope he gets better. He's a hell of a player, hard as fuck to play against. Rangers draft pick. Obviously, he spent a lot of time in New York. I was talking to Fever Boy Rex on the phone about JT Miller today, and we're like, what happened? And we're like, we don't really know. And it was brought up. Actually, it got to Phil Hedl. The conversation went to Phil Hedl, and I mentioned how Phil Hedl always gets hurt. Like they need to just wrap him in bubble wrap. And I said, do you remember the Mark Messier helmets that they used to make that were like concussion free and they look like giant astronaut helmets? We used to make fun of those helmets all the time back in the day. I'm like, they got to strap one to Phil Hedl. And Fever Boy Rex, without skipping a beat, he's like, JT Miller wore that in rookie camp. I go, what? Never would have known that. So he sent me.
You remembered that?
Is that not fucking crazy that he remembers that? Like,
yeah. Well, it stood out to him, like a little thing. Yeah.
Well, we always made fun of like the Cascade helmets. We thought they were ridiculous, dude. They were gigantic, and then he sent me a picture, and there's JT Miller with a Cascade helmet on, which kind of made me laugh. But I hope he's all right. I hope he gets better. He's fucking hell of a player.
Sure. So when I my first time joining an organized league for hockey, you had to wear. You couldn't go. I used to wear nothing. I'd wear a helmet, but no shield, no cage, and I had to wear a cage or a shield to play in this league. So I went and I got a cage, and I remember I was talking to the captain, and he goes, how's it feel? He goes, well, what do you think? I go, well, it feels kind of weird. He goes, what do you mean it feels kind of weird? Where are you? I go, I'm driving. And he's like, what do you mean you're driving? I'm like, I just got it. So I'm driving with my helmet on to see how it goes. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I have an update on my helmet when we get to Beer League too. But just like funny helmet stories. Eric Johnson played his 1000th game 1000 Bloomington, Minnesota native. Was drafted first overall by St. Louis in 2006 and has put up a stat line of 94 goals, 251 assists for 345 points. With 549 PIMs over a 17-year career for St. Louis, Colorado, Buffalo, and Philly. He won the Cup of Colorado in 21-22 to go along with his Olympic silver medal in 2010, has 2 golds at the U18 champs, and is bronze at the World Junior and bronze at the World.
Yep.
Off-ice hobby is breeding racing horses, and one of the most successful horses is named after his former captain and teammate Gabriel Landeskog, who was able to make his 1,000th game celebration in Philly as the Flyers hosted the Avs. Cool story. Hell of a hockey player. Always really good.
Yeah, and beloved everywhere he goes. Like his retirement ceremony is probably going to be a must watch because just the deprecating sense of humor. Everyone loves him. It'll be like a roast, you know?
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson played in his 1,000th game. The Karlskrona, Sweden native was drafted 6th overall by Phoenix in 2009. Stat line of 145 goals, 333 assists, 478 points. 650 penalty minutes over a 15-year career for Phoenix, Arizona, Vancouver, Florida, and Toronto. He won a Cup of Florida last year to go along with an Olympic silver medal in 2014. His bronze at the World Junior Championship, and his 2 golds, 1 silver, and 1 bronze at the Worlds. I'm not an OEL guy, are you?
I would take Eric Johnson over him. Although I was surprised at how many penalty minutes Ekman-Larsson had. That number was bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can't do that. Austin Matthews is in Germany, sidelining an apparent injury.
You don't want to read the sheet, no?
No, I'm not going to read the sheet there. But Ryan Reeves was suspended 5 games after his illegal check to the head of Edmonton, Darnell Nurse. And lastly, Carl Yonkro underwent groin surgery, sports hernia surgery, and is listed month to month. So that Reeves hit was pretty fucking crazy. Did you see the picture of like the impact where Darnell Nurse's head was like?
Well, Darnell Nurse said something along the lines, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but he said something to the effect of, I'm 6'2", and there's a lot of me that could have got hit, and the only part of me that got hit was my chin.
Yeah. Yeah, he got
Reeves leaves his feet quite a bit when he hits people.
Yeah. Dirty play. I think 5 games is good.
I think the 5 games was warranted. Reeves hasn't had a whole lot. I don't know what his suspension numbers is, but for the most part, he's not a dirty player. So I think that worked for the 5. Otherwise, I think it could have been 7 or 10 easily.
Yeah, I would agree. Welcome back. Detroit welcomed back goaltender Jack Campbell from the NHLPA Player Assistance Program and promptly put him on waivers. He cleared waivers and reported to Grand Rapids Griffins of the AHL. He's on a 1-year, $775,000 deal. Hopefully he plays well in the AHL and they call him up.
Yeah, hopefully he gets it. He's from everybody says how great a guy he is.
The PWHL is in the game. EA Sports.
Is that their tag, right?
Yeah, you nailed that. That was good. EA Sports announced a multi-year partnership with the PWHL and will bring the players and teams into NHL 25 starting December 5th. They're also dropping the 4 Nations content starting early 2025. So that'll be.
I will say, I can't wait to talk to like Alina and be like, you're going to be in a video game. Like, what is it? Like, that's just, you know what I mean? It's just bizarre. It's cool. It's great for them, you know?
Yeah. Islanders defenseman Mike Riley will undergo a heart procedure that will keep him out for the lineup for several months. They uncovered the heart condition through tests stemming from a recent concussion, although it's not related. Lou Lamoriello called it a blessing in disguise. Hopefully he gets well soon, man. I guess it's like
scary.
You know, it's scary, but at the same time, it's good that he went there and got checked out because
Absolutely.
The KHL has
funny talking about heart. We were up on the roof today working, and we were talking about doing this a year ago. And I didn't because I had a heart attack. Yeah. And we were talking, me and the kid, and I go, just think last year, if we were doing this last year, I could have fallen off dead. He's like, oh my God.
He's like, can you fucking not, dude? We're not.
Yeah, exactly.
The KHL has launched an inaugural 3v3 league getting ready for the Olympics, ? The league will be called the 3-on-3 International League and will feature 8
teams. They really put some thought into that one. What are you guys going to call it? The 3-on-3 International League. Okay.
That works. They'll play from December 2024 to July 25, and the teams are Bears Astana, which is Kazakhstan, Dynamo Minsk, Belarus, AK Bars Kazan, Avangard Omsk, Metalburg. There's 7 teams, and a lot from Slovenia. The games will take 30 minutes playing on a 34-by-18 rink that's 112-by-60. There will be penalty shots instead of power plays, no hitting and no fighting, and per reports, each team must have 1 famous hockey player.
I'm like, this is the most Russian announcement of all time.
Yeah, like what makes you famous? What happens if a team can't get somebody
Yeah.
and they bring like Daryl Powell or something? They're like, nah.
Yeah, I don't know. They're gonna be like, oh, how many followers you have on Instagram? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you can go.
Yeah, right. And then tough day for Washington sports. November 18th should be looked as a Friday the 13th in Washington for their sports franchises, at least for their legs. This is true. I found this, put it out on our Instagram story yesterday, and then I actually looked into it before I posted it because I was like, there's no way this is actually true. And it's true. So November 18th, 1985, Washington Redskins quarterback Joe Theismann broke his leg. Lawrence Taylor. On November 18th, 2018, Washington Redskins quarterback Alex Smith broke his leg. And then on November 18th, 2024, Capitals forward Alex Ovechkin broke his leg. Crazy shit. Sports numbers.
Nuts.
That's fucking wild, man.
If
I'm any Washington like scheduler, nope.
Yeah. Alex Smith went through hell with his leg. I think it's like an inch difference on. He had like a horrible like infection and something, right?
Yeah, he got messed up.
Yeah.
All right, that's our NHL news. Let's dump and change. Shout out to me for getting that right.
Oh, yeah, for hitting the right video.
Yeah.
That says dump and change. So Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Did you watch this?
No, I went to sleep.
Okay. So I watched part of it. It looks very choreographed. There's a lot of people have like what do you call it? Frame by frame of Tyson, like Paul's chin's wide open and Tyson kind of and literally pulled his punch. So there's a lot of people, and Tyson needed money, and I think he cleared 20 million on this, so good on you.
Good on you.
65 million streams worldwide and 38 million in the US. There were all kinds of issues with buffering. I'm sure you heard about this, which is not a good look considering they're playing the NFL. The NFL is going to be on Netflix on Christmas Day, and more people are going to watch the NFL and watch that fight. So Antonio Brown, wild card that he is, from inside the arena when everything was going on, he went live on whatever platform, and he had 7 million people watching him video the fight. It was a unanimous decision for Paul, but every boxing fan lost, and black does crack because we all saw Tyson's ass crack during that shot.
Yo, and shout out to that blonde, that girl named Sydney. Great job. Unreal.
Okay. And then the undercard was the best fight. The undisputed super lightweight champ Katie Taylor took on unified featherweight champion Amanda the Real Deal Serrano. Taylor took the W in a controversial unanimous decision, even though she was wobbled early on. Like, how do you win every round if you were wobbled, and had a point deducted during the bout for headbutts. Serrano had a deep cut above her right eye, which was caused by the headbutt. When the two met last time, Serrano lost in a split, and per Netflix, it was the most watched women's sports event in U.S. history with 74 million live viewers. I mean, there's no way of verifying that, but good for them. Yeah. I will say this about boxing. You want to fix boxing and the corruption, have every judge's scorecard visible to the people boxing and to the fans. It's like this secret. It's the only sport where you don't know your score. Oh, I guess some gymnastics too, you don't know. But show the scorecard like while it's going.
Yeah.
It would fix it, But anyways, the PLL has announced a new women's league, the WLL, Women's Lacrosse League. The league is set to debut at the 2025 Championship Series in Springfield, Virginia. I believe that is this spring. And then this last one, Tara Dower set a record when she became the fastest person in history to complete the Appalachian Trail. The 31-year-old from Virginia completed the 2,168-mile backcountry trail in 40 days, 18 hours, and 5 minutes. It typically takes a hiker 5 to 7 months to complete this. She woke up, ran and hiked an average of, she wake up at 3 a.m. and do an average of 54 miles a day. Like, I don't even want to drive 54 miles a day in a car. She would start her daily run at 3:30 in the morning, go for 17 hours with several short stops for meals and 90-second dirt naps. Like, she would lay down the dirt and she would just crash out for like 90 seconds at a time. She used to trek to raise money for Girls on the Run nonprofit, saying she hopes her feat will inspire girls and women to get out there and experience nature. Good on her,
never,
man.
never could I ever.
I would like to hike the Appalachian Trail. I think that would be a cool thing to do. Like maybe when my daughter's older, we could do it together, but not in 40 days.
That's tough.
No.
Yeah.
We could do like maybe go like for a week and then pick up again where we left off and complete it over time. That'd be a neat thing.
That would be cool.
But not in one go.
Yeah, I'm just not going anytime. I'm gonna save I guess I can talk about the Rangers quick. They have Capo playing the middle, or they had him playing in the middle last night with Cooley and VC, and that line actually didn't look bad. That was the first time all year that Cooley and Capo got scored on, which was pretty crazy. Jonathan Quick looks sick. Igor's playing well. It's a weird team. Like, we have a good record, but I still don't think we put together 60-minute efforts or played a good team to a win. You know what I mean? Like, you want to. It's good that you're getting your points, but at some point we kind of have to make a statement here, find out what this year's identity is going to be. And then they found out that he didn't have a concussion, so he's with the team right now. He didn't play last night. Maybe he'll play tomorrow. They recalled Victor Mancini, and I feel like that's kind of what I got for the Rangers.
Who is the MMA guy who was like, I want to give Rempe tips? He was like, who's number 73?
Oh, yeah, I don't know who that was, but that was cool, though. He's like, I'd hang out with that guy. That's what I got. So Bruins, take it away.
Oh, buckle the fuck up. All right. So the Bruins are 8-9-3. Listen, if you're not a Bruins fan, you can just sign off right now for the next 2 minutes and go
2 minutes, dude. I'm looking at this doc, guys. This is
or whatever. So they're tied with Buffalo at 19 points, 7 points behind Toronto, 6 points behind Florida, 2 points behind Tampa, and will be fighting for a wild card spot if the season ended today.
You want to know what, though? Plenty of time turning around.
No, there is. Well, I've been talking with, we were texting all through the game last night, and this next 9-game stretch is the make or break, in my opinion. But we'll get to that. So, in my opinion, there are 4 entities that you need to look at. Cam Neely, Don Sweeney, Jim Montgomery, and the ownership, right? The Jacobs.
Not the players.
You got to do what you got to do with the players. They're all pros.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think the fault lies above the coaching suite, personally.
Okay.
So, Neely, since becoming the vice president or president, he has now fired 3 Jack Adams Award-winning coaches, Claude Julien, Bruce Cassidy, and now Montgomery. At the 2015 draft, he set Sweeney up to fail. That's the draft that everybody points to, right?
Yep.
He set Sweeney up to fail with no backup plan in place because Sweeney was named the GM like 5 weeks ahead of the draft. He was the assistant prior, but I don't know what he was privy to in terms of depth and stuff. So,
I mean, I kind of understand.
I'm going to go through all of them.
Okay.
They signed Mitchell Miller remember, we didn't properly vet.
The North doesn't forget. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And then fired Montgomery. In 184 games, the Bruins have lost 41 times in regulation. It's pretty fucking good. His record was 120, 41, and 23 for a 715 winning percentage. Yeah. So I feel like Neely's gets away with a lot because of who he was as a player. And I think it's time to start looking at him a little bit greasy, if that makes sense.
Okay. My two notes with this. I think setting the Sweeney up to fail for the 2015 draft, I don't really think that's really on him. I feel like Sweeney had to have been within the know. There are plenty of draft boards that you can look at. They still had scouts.
In theory, but he was still making the final says. I mean, Sweeney has people he has to answer to. I'm just saying it's not all Sweeney.
And the Montgomery win record, very impressive. But you have to remember one of those years, like
we're gonna get to that.
Many games, like
we're gonna get to that, buddy. Okay. So Don Sweeney's in his 10th season as GM, and he's on his 4th head coach. His playoff record: he missed the playoffs twice, 3 first-round exits, 4 second-round exits, and 1 loss in the Stanley Cup Finals. And everyone's
so 5 out of the 10 times you're done within the first round,
right?
At the time, that's tough. Yeah. Okay.
Now everybody says is a horrible drafter, right? That's the knock on Sweeney. So in 2015, he had 10 picks. Brandon Carlo came out of that. I mean, that was still the bungled draft everybody talks about, but Brandon Carlo's a keeper. Jake DeBrusk, Jeremy Lauzon, Dan Vladar, all are playing NHL minutes. The next year, he had 6 picks. Hit on Charlie McAvoy, hit on Trent Frederick, hit on Ryan Lindgren. I mean, I would love Ryan Lindgren to still be there. 2017, he had 6 picks. Jeremy Swayman and Euro Vakanainen, who's playing for Anaheim. 2018, he had 5 picks, hit on Jacob Lacko. 2019, 5 picks, hit on Johnny Beecher. 2020, 4 picks, Mason Lowry. 2021, 7 picks, no one's cracked the NHL. 2022, 6 picks. Matthew Petra is kind of in the NHL. He's back and forth. 2023, 5 picks, no one's cracked the NHL. 2024, 5 picks, no one's cracked the NHL. So in 59 picks for Sweeney, 12, 13 if you count Petras, whatever, however you say it is, playing NHL minutes. There's 12 or 13 players. So in an NHL, this math is wrong, by the way. I double-checked this. An NHL GM is considered to have success at the draft if 20 to 25 of their picks develop. Sweeney is converting at a 20 to 21%. So he's right there. That 45 is wrong. I did the math wrong.
Okay. All right.
Of that success, only 6 are contributing in Boston, but they're all key pieces playing big minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Bruins prospects currently rank 31st and 32nd because Sweeney trades away everything trying to win now, right? So the question is, it's not maybe the drafting, it's how he manages his assets. That could be the question that you should ask, in my opinion, on this.
Good breakdown, Brownie.
He also signed, he was also part of that Mitchell Miller and loves telling everybody he went to fucking Harvard, so he should have been smarter. Now, this offseason, he bungled this so fucking hard. They had career high players last year, and he expected them to continue at that level. Coyle, Frederick, and Geekie all had career years, and they're all clearly not, that's not going to happen every year. They never addressed secondary scoring. They didn't add speeds. They added size. They didn't sign Swayman. So Swayman, they took him to arbitration. Swayman had bad feelings about it, and they lowballed him because they still had Allmark. He, of course, rejected that. They then traded Allmark within the division and lost all leverage with Swayman. Then they had an extended public pissing match with their number 1 goalie, and Swayman missed training camp and looked rusty at the beginning of the game. Then there was all the talk about Neely saying, like, oh, there's 8 million reasons why I'd be in camp, where Swayman's agent never got that offer. That was like, what are you doing? They left Montgomery unsigned as a lame duck coach. So, and I'm not saying Montgomery would do this, but why would he invest in young players if he didn't have a contract knowing he'd be gone? There's no incentive for him to bring up these guys. He's got to try to win as many games as possible.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they cut off his legs in terms of dealing with like Marchand, Pasternak, all these guys. And now we'll get to Montgomery. He won the President's Trophy and set the NHL record for wins and points 2 seasons ago. He also admitted that the team coached itself, and I'm not so sure it was self-deprecating because Bergeron, Krejci, the goaltending tandem, he really didn't have to do a whole hell of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of curious decisions, in my opinion. Doesn't use his timeouts. There was a game, it was like a week and a half ago, and they were down a goal. They iced the puck, and my buddies on this group text. There was 4 of us, and it was timeout. Everybody's texting.
I don't think you can call timeout on an icing.
Yes, you can.
There's a new rule. I don't think you can do it. I'm pretty positive. I'm like 99% positive.
All right. Well, hey,
let me look it up.
So we had that spat with Marchand on the bench. He benched Pasternak, and he moved McAvoy off power play 1, which is really all he can do with the Stars is you limit their ice time.
In the NHL, teams are not allowed to take a timeout after icing the puck.
Huh. That's new then.
I don't think it's that new. This says 2017, 2018.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, either way, there was another whistle and he still didn't do it. So he could have done it right after the next whistle.
Fair enough.
So everybody says the team quit on Montgomery and he lost the room are the most comments that I'm hearing and seeing. And when they lost to Columbus the other night, and Columbus, that was only their second road win of the season, Pasternak didn't have a shot on net the entire fucking game. So then you're going to come out and say to the media, and I'm talking about Pasternak, how it's so sad that Montgomery's not there. Shut the fuck up, right? If he was really your guy, you would have fucking showed a little effort. They're the most penalized team in the NHL and have the 25th worst penalty kill in the league. And they have the third worst goal differential in the league. Only Pittsburgh and San Jose are worse. This all goes back to missteps by management in free agency. I'm going to leave that last point off this. I'm not going to even go there. Okay. I will say, watching the game last night, because I wanted to see how they responded. There was a decidedly different feel in terms of the forecheck. They were much more aggressive on the forecheck. The D was more looking to make that quick outlet or skate instead of going D to D and up the wall, which that I don't know enough about the systems to say that was Montgomery style or whatever. And I will say this. I think Mark Kastelik was like, let me fucking cook, because he went out. He had 2 fights. He had a shift where, but he had a shift where he knocked 4 different players on their asses. And even Marchand after the game was like, that's what we need, guys like that. So
is he a rookie?
Kastelik? No. So it was, I don't think he's long in his career, but I don't think he's a rookie. So I don't know if it was like Montgomery had the reins and now Sacco's letting him go a little bit. He also, another thing that Montgomery didn't do, a late power play. He had 2 defensemen up high, as opposed to sticking with Pasternak, like when the other team pulls their goalie, like, what are we doing here? It's just little things like that. I like the way he did the pairings. Montgomery was like constantly shuffling, and Sacco put Zadorov on a third pair, which is where I believe he belongs. And listen, you overpaid for a guy. Don't fucking make it worse by forcing him onto the top pair.
You might have overpaid for a guy, but maybe third pair he's not dealing with the big guys. Yeah. And maybe it becomes like a shutdown third pairing defenseman, which is like kind of nice to have, like realistically. So.
And I really personally listen. Let Lowry make mistakes. Charlie McAvoy is the big stud. He can cover him up. Yeah. So let them play together. Let Lowry fucking jump in and dangle down the wall like he does, because the kid's dynamic, and the more ice time he gets, the better he's going to play. Fair enough. I think Sacco will do a good job. I think. Oh, and then the last part. So my issue is the ownership does not give a fuck. They are not fans of hockey. This is a business. They are looking at their spreadsheet. The Bruins are in the black. They're fucking happy. Neely and Sweeney will continue in that role until one of the Jacobs kids, whoever is in charge, Charlie or whichever one, is like, we need to fucking win a cup, because they don't give a fuck. It's just about the money. And Sweeney and Neely, if they were with a different organization, I think would have been gone years ago. So I think you're not going to fire yourself. And I feel like Jim Montgomery was kind of hung out to dry a little bit.
I feel like that's why that's why teams, it's a hard time when they hire like the legends. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that might be why the Rangers never hired Messier.
Or maybe
Messier wanted the head coaching job and stuff like that. No, Messier, every time there's a head coaching thing in New York, he always says he wants it.
Really?
Like, it's one of those things where they're a legend, but then when they're kind of put into this, like, I'm sure there's a lot of Bruins fans that their opinions have completely changed on who's the guy Samuelson fucked up? Cam Neely.
Listen, I loved him as a player, but I'm not. Show me what he's done as a president that I can be like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, and the senior Jacobs is such a fucking douche. I mean, at the fucking Stanley Cup parade, he literally said to Neely, as they're about to go on the duck boats, he said something along the lines of, sure would have been great if you won one. Yeah. Like, he's just a piece of shit. And he always has been. He used to be cheap as hell. At least they're spending money now. Listen, I'm never getting that fucking press pass, so I don't give a fuck. I just think that if Montgomery was this great a coach and the players all bought in and his systems were so great, then they would have signed him to an extension before this season. The fact that they didn't is they knew that there was going to be a drop-off and they needed a fucking scapegoat, and they're not going to fire themselves. Yeah. And so that's why Monty's gone.
All righty.
So,
good Bruins breakdown.
Oh, felt good to get that all out.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, it was. Oh, hey, much happier news. Northeastern. So they won both games against Maine last weekend, 2-1 Friday, 2-0 Saturday. Tuva Candel was Rookie of the Week with 3 apples and 2 blocks. Jules Constantinople was named Defensive Player of the Week for the first time this year, with 2 assists and 6 blocks herself. And the podcast is out now. She was great, fun to talk to. I told her when we were done recording about, we were still recording about you, me, and Carp when you were like, I don't want to go in a corner of number 41. Yeah, so yeah, she was good. She's a Rangers fan too.
Okay, yeah. Okay, moving up my depth chart.
Yeah. Lisa Johnson, goaltender of the week, back-to-back with 30-plus saves, leads all goalies nationally with a .84 goals against and a .970 save percentage.
I feel like if a goalie has a letter in their last name of an O with 2 dots on top of it, like they're normally nasty.
Okay.
It's kind of the vibe I get.
She is
very Euro.
So tall. I think she's like 6'1", maybe 6 foot, but she moves so fast side to side, and she catches righty. So I think it's like this big, huge, like mobile goalie who's like offhanded, and I think it takes you a minute. And Skurs, our friend Skylar Irving, your girl, she was named to the U.S. collegiate team for the Six Nations tourney in Finland in December coming up. The only player from Hockey East, the only one. Yep.
Did somebody say that she was really good, or
yeah, that's right. Who was that? You really a hot take there with the up and coming best player.
Carp, get me on the road, get me recruiting.
The team is off till November 30th when they face BC for the first time this season, and I think they just got back into the top 15 if I saw that correctly.
Awesome.
So, and lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank everyone for we took my daughter to Saturday's game. It was a 1:30 puck drop, and we brought some friends of hers that have never been to a hockey game. They ended up being the kids ended up being the fans of the game on the Jumbotron. They were very excited about that. And then Coach Carp brought the kids into the locker room, and they had posters. I mean, there was a youth team there too. There was a couple of youth teams there also, but the kids had Riley has a poster of the captains and the schedule, and she got every single player to sign it, and every single player was so patient and kind with all. I mean, they just finished their game. It's Saturday afternoon. The last thing they want to do is be there any longer, most likely. They want to get out about their day, their night. And they took time trying to make every kid laugh, have a meaningful conversation with every kid. It was awesome. And I'll roll this into my hero, one of my heroes of the week. We did that was on Saturday, and then Sunday afternoon, my daughter wanted to watch a movie with me, so she wanted to watch Inside Out 2. She'd already seen it, but I hadn't seen it. So we watched that, and the character's name is Riley, also the player, and she's a hockey player, very good one in the movie. And she wears number 28, which is my number, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
So we were talking, and she's watching the movie, and she looks at me, she goes, "Dad, I think I want to play hockey."
No.
And I was like, you know what it was like? It was like, it was like
hell yeah.
It was like, no, I was so scared. It was like a squirrel was eating out of my hand, and I didn't want to startle it. You know what I mean? I go, "Okay, buddy, if you want to play." And she goes, "Do you think it's too late?" I go, "No, I think you can play. It's fine. People start at different times." And she goes, "Yeah, I think I want to play. And then maybe I can play for the Huskies someday." I go, "Maybe." So, yeah, it's pretty cool. She also tried to stay home because I was interviewing Constantinople at like 8:30 or whatever it was. And Riley wanted to stay home from school so she could be there for the interview. And I'm like, "No, you can't."
That's awesome.
So, yeah,
man.
it was a good weekend. So
Huge.
Yeah, the Huskies. Go Huskies.
Go Huskies. Beer League brought to you by Beauty Unis.
Oh, I always forget you got to do this.
Yeah, me too. I always try to get it done before, but we're just going to do this. All right, Beauty Unis. Beer League hockey. These are the rubber puckies, dude.
I like that.
I think they're pretty cool. Talk about them, Brownie.
All right, so it looks like a black background, or is it dark blue? Maybe. It's a rubber ducky helmet, no shield, no grill. He's missing at least one chiclet up top. He looks a little pissed off holding a stick. Looks like he's a righty. He's only got one hand in the stick, so he's he's a beer leaguer. And it's a rubber puckies like
Rubber ducky.
like no. I was trying to think of the font, kind of like a '90s like.
Oh yeah.
movie,
So I
kinda
actually
thing.
have hold on. I actually have something else I can show as
Oh.
well. Give me 2 seconds. So share the screen again. Go to the window. So this is what they look like on the jersey.
Oh yeah, it is definitely black. So it's like a Tampa Bay alternate jersey.
Yep.
Like black with a white and blue on the collar, hem, and sleeve. Yeah, nice jersey.
Sick jerseys.
I like the idea of the rubber puckies. Considering I have a Donald Duck tattoo where he's pissed off, so I can relate to this. I can relate to this jersey. Yeah, they don't miss, man. Beauty
They
is
don't.
Casey and the boys do not miss.
They
Lance,
don't miss.
Lance.
Beer league. Dude, we're struggling. We won one game, but the reason why we won the game is because a guy on our team got in a fight with the other team's goalie, and the game ended in the second period because they couldn't play any longer. I wasn't there that week.
They got ejected.
Yes.
So the team doesn't have the ability to say we'll play with 6 guys on the
I
ice.
just don't think the refs wanted to be there. I wasn't there.
Oh.
I was sick, so I didn't go to that game.
Yep.
I will say
so they
however,
won without you. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, pretty much. Tonight we have a game. When I get off of this, I'm going to it. I already know I did it once. I'm doing it again. I'm guaranteeing victory.
Oh, boy.
Brownie, what do I have to do if we don't win?
Oh,
Think on it while it's doing it, because I'm not messing around anymore. I have my one buddy Smetty coming, who should fill the back of the net. Blair will be there. Clapp will be there. I think we get our first dub of the year tonight. So
second dub, first dub with you there.
yeah. I already taped both twigs, and the league that I'm playing in, the guys are a little bit more wherewithal with their sticks compared to the last league. So I put the visor back on, dude. I mean business. I'm going for it. I'm getting pucks deep. I'm scoring some goals tonight. So I'm
my immediate thought is you have to do like the next podcast with Islanders gear on.
I don't have Islanders gear though.
You have to buy some. No,
I'm not buying Islanders gear. Let's do something I don't have to spend money at, especially Islanders gear. When am I ever going to use that? I keep
Fair
thinking
enough.
though, because if we can get to something, I'd be pumped. What about you for beer league? Oh, and then one other thing. So right now, you're gonna call me a fucking loser, but the website that our league website or whatever, they have all of our stats and shit.
Yep.
And they have our stats from like long time ago. Like
Yeah.
I think I played in this league in 2014. So I have like 2014, 2015, and then like 2016 through 20, and then this year. I'm normally batting at like a 2 or 3 points per game clip.
Mhm.
Right now, I'm only at a point per game clip. So
Mhm.
I played 7 games. They've definitely fucked up some of this shit, but I have 8 points. So my question for you is, whenever, and I don't know if I feel like every hockey player's had this, where you go through a little like stretch of games where you're just not really fired up about yourself, like, oh shit, nothing's happening. Is there
Mhm.
anything that you do to get you out of that funk, or anything along those lines? Because I'm willing to do anything tonight, I think.
So I have a particular set of things that I do in terms of like getting dressed and tape my stick, wash my jerseys, that whole deal.
Yeah.
So I think I've played in 4 games for the team. And in those 4 were 3-1. We just lost 2 nights ago. I hadn't washed my jersey's socks.
Oh my god, I can't do that.
So I don't wash them when we win. I also I don't change the tape on my stick until we lose.
Okay. Well, I just
And I
retaped my
also-
sticks because this is you know how I said I did in every game. I think this could be a thing. I haven't taped them since first game of the year, so like
Oh, so maybe, yeah.
maybe that
also-
could be it. We're bringing the
this
speaker
last-
tonight. We don't normally have a speaker in the locker room. We're bringing the
Okay.
fucking speaker.
Change the
So
vibes.
we're
yeah.
trying to get some vibes going because it's, and the kid that I have coming tonight is fucking pretty goddamn good. So I'm feeling pretty confident.
I also this week I walked into the locker room and my buddy Mark was sitting there and I go, "Oh, I'll sit next to you." And there was a chair. And I'm not normally the chair guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'll try the chair. And then we lost. So I'm never sitting in the chair again. First off.
That's
And then the second thing was,
we're burning the chair in the parking lot after
yeah, I'm gonna smash it. I also like to get dressed one side at a time. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And I normally do it right side first, But this last game, I reached in my bag and I grabbed my left knee pad first. So I was like, oh, I guess we're going lefty, and we lost. So I'll go back to making sure it's righty. But
Okay.
yeah, since our last podcast, we're 1-1. I have like I said to someone, I said it to Constantinople. We were talking about like beer league, and I go, buddy, right now I couldn't hit water falling out of a boat. I must have had like 7 bids, and the goalie's very good, but I was like, this is ridiculous. So I started passing, and Billy scored. So my line mate. So, but yeah, I'm playing center. I'm enjoying it, winning some faceoffs. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but that's the beauty of playing at a low level.
The last game we played a team that has a bunch of like former D1, D3 guys, so there just really was no chance to begin with. But I mean, I didn't have a shot on goal. I still put up 2 points, had a couple assists, but like I feel like I need to put pucks on that a little bit more.
Yeah,
and I'm pumped about the visor. I think that's going to be an absolute fucking game changer. Because ever since I went to the cage, like I still put up points, but not nearly as many.
What's the visor? Clear? I'm hoping.
Yeah. I'm not Fink. I did send Fink a Snapchat, and he goes, next edition, mirrored visor. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind, buddy.
Oh, if you lose tonight, you have to get a mirrored visor.
I don't want to spend money. It can't be something I spend money on.
Right.
That would suck. I'd be so fucking pissed if I were a
when's your after tonight? When's your next game?
We have the week off, vacation next week for Thanksgiving.
Vacation.
The week after that. So we have time. We have time to think about this. We can come back to this next week.
So you have Thanksgiving and then the game, right? It's not close to Thanksgiving. To get the boys fired up, man. You guys lose tonight. You walk in next game with your hat on, you take it off, reverse mohawk.
Oh, I'm not cutting my hair, dude.
I'll
figure it out. Maybe like next game I'll have to play the entire next game left-handed or something. Like maybe I'd do that.
How's that going to help you?
It's not going to help me. It's supposed to be punishment.
That's what I'm saying. The reverse mohawk. You get all the boys fired up.
And it's free. I can just borrow somebody's stick.
Shave your head. Get all the boys fired up.
I'm not shaving my fucking head. You're out of your mind. Absolutely not. All right, moving on. Heroes and Zeros, last segment of the day. Every time we play it, it's like we're in Star Wars. Heroes and Zeros time, last segment. I just have a quick one. So, I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, Matt Zuccarello, he took a shot to the head in the playoffs. He was out. He had to he had to learn how to talk again. Like his brain
I didn't know it was that bad.
It was really bad. He was in the hospital for a few days.
Wow.
Fast forward to this year, Zuccarello takes a shot right to the nuts, and one of his nuts ruptured. They ended up saving it.
Who was it that they were talking to?
Oh, it was funny. I don't know. I forget what the interview was, but what he said was pretty fucking funny. It was
probably like, he thought he was going to lose a nut.
Yeah. My hero of the week is just Matt Zuccarello, man. Tough as nails. I mean, how many times has this guy been my hero? But he's tough. Some of the best vision in the entire NHL. Hope he gets well soon. Just tough as shit. So good on him. Good on him for battling through that. I don't know how he's my zero. Just kind of want to give him shine.
Hey, Richie, when you listen to this, if you're at the Minnesota Wild, you might want to pull Zuccarello aside when you're in the press scrum and be like, "How the nuts?
How's the nut, dude?" If Morning Skate were to lose its NHL credential, I would hope it'd be from a question of "How's your nut, dude?"
I think Richie wouldn't. That's a question I would ask Flint.
Oh boy!
Hey, Coach Flint, how's your nut?
And then what do you got?
So I have a hero and a zero. I'm going to do my zero first. My zero is me because I messed with Mother Nature. It hasn't rained here in 2 fucking months. I go up on the roof to strip the roof off and to redo it. It fucking poured buckets. I had tarps up thinking that we did everything right, but I didn't secure it on one end. So the wind just picked it up and flipped it over. We had water in our kitchen cabinets from the oh my God. Yeah. I'm batting 1,000 this morning. And then my hero. All right. I've had a lot of revelatory experiences in the last few days.
Yeah.
First off, did you know you could print documents from your phone?
If you're connected to a printer.
I didn't know it was even such a thing. Do you know how many times I've forwarded stuff from my phone to my laptop so I could print it?
I don't think that that's an uncommon thing to think. I would probably do the same thing. Because normally if I'm by my printer, I'm by my computer. I'll be like, just do it here and then do it that way.
Yeah, but I would email something to myself so I could print it. And Lori was like, "You're an idiot. You can print from your phone." And I was like, "What is this? When did this happen?" She's like 10 years ago. I was like, "Okay." And then the other thing that we had a very similar conversation. So I bought a new pair of jeans. And I'm a kind of guy who has like one pair of jeans and he wears them till the wheels fall off kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then once they become like a pair of work jeans, I will buy a new pair of jeans.
I have 2 pairs of jeans. I have a pair of black jeans and a pair of blue jeans.
Well, right now I have 2 pairs of jeans. I have a like faded and then a darker blue.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I do the same thing. When they get beat up, I'll just use them to like work around the house and shit. Yeah.
So I wear them to go skiing. No.
Wear them in the hot tub.
Yeah. So I bought a new pair of jeans and I put them on and they felt kind of weird. Like, and so they're something called athletic taper.
Okay.
So they're like bigger through the butt, I guess, for the legs. So I didn't want skinny jeans, but I hate boot cut jeans when you're wearing sneakers
Monstrous, dude.
because they look like you have on bell bottoms, right?
Yeah.
And it looks ridiculous. And I either wear work boots or Vans. That's it.
Bro, it is 2024 and you're just realizing that these jeans have been out.
Wait, no, it's worse than what you're thinking. So they're tapered, right? So that's great.
Yeah.
So I can wear them with boots, I can wear them with sneakers, no problem. They're stretchy kind of material.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I've never seen this.
How nice is it?
I got into the truck and I went last night to go to hockey and I had jeans on and I go, "What the fuck?" And I literally said that to myself in the driveway of the house. And I was like, and I was pulling on them and they stretch a little bit. And I was talking to my wife this morning and I'm like, "Do you know about these stretchy jeans?" And she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Wait, wait. So you're home chilling before hockey and you still wear jeans to hockey?
Yeah, I had them on.
Are you not a sweatpant guy?
Yeah, usually, but I had the jeans on.
Interesting. All right, maybe I'll put jeans on tonight. Maybe I'll wear some jeans tonight.
Well, no,
Maybe
we lost, so probably don't.
Oh shit.
Go with
I'm
the
gonna do it anyway because I always wear these. I always wear
right.
like these sweatpants. Yeah, I'm in.
So yeah, she's like, "You are such a loser." I had no idea that there was stretchy material in jeans. I want to get in like a fight so I can kick someone or something. I feel like I could throw like a
maneuverability in there.
Yeah, it's crazy, super comfortable. You feel like I feel like I don't have them on. You know what I mean? So yeah, hey, everyone out there, there's this new technology. It's called stretchy pants. Or not stretchy pants, they just have a little stretch to them, I guess.
I'm just looking at our Instagram really quick to see if we missed anything. Just really, really quick, your thoughts on a couple things. Freddie Anderson, knee surgery out to 8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, I saw that about him, and that sucks, but he hasn't played a game this year, so it wasn't like they're missing something.
I mean, that's 3 out of the. So he's been on the Hurricanes 4 years. That's 3 out of the 4 years he's had a significant injury.
That's called curse of. It's when you're a goalie and you play for Toronto, you get cursed for the rest of your career.
That Zach Whitecloud hit on Matthew Nyes, I thought it was fine.
Yeah. I Whitecloud's a clean player.
A lot of Bruins, and then okay. One other thing, Kuznetsov had like the Michigan type goal that was sick.
Oh, did he?
Yep. The only other thing that is Rafi Torres. I don't know why this came up to me, but I was thinking about like dirty hockey players, so I just rattled.
He's
off,
one of the
like,
dirtiest that's ever played.
Holy shit! Some of them were bad.
Well,
I didn't even know it.
You got to take it with a grain of salt because some of those were not as bad at the time, but they were all dirty.
Right. Yeah, I mean they're not.
Oh,
great. I think.
And my last thing about the Bruins, how I said that there was like this little test for them. They have 9 games, and I think out of the 9, 6 are at home, and I think not one of those teams is above 500. So they should stockpile points over their next 9 games, and if they could come out of this 9-game stretch 7-2, maybe 6-2-1, yeah. Then they have a very good test December 10th. They're at Winnipeg, so keep your eyes on that. This is a good time for them to pile up points and work on systems, in my opinion.
All right. Anything else you got for the people at home, Brownie?
No, as always, God bless you, Jerome McGinley. Man, I wish you and Bergie were still playing for the Bruins, and how nice it would be to see you guys cowboy over the boards with Marchand, go out there and just dominate. But There's always next year, buddy. Still come back.
One other really quick thing: Marchand's captaincy to blame with any of this? Do you think?
No.
I don't know. New captain, and
I will say Charlie McAvoy had a really strong statement after Montgomery, and he's like, I don't have the verbatim in front of me, but it was something along the lines of, I am one of the luckiest people in the world. I play hockey for my job, and I'm playing for the best organization in the league. And I got to remember no, but that's what you want to hear. And he's like, I got to
AJ Greer 2.0.
Yeah. He's like, you got to play for the crest. And there's been a lot of talk from players over the last few days about playing for the crest and playing for the crest and playing for each other. So sometimes you need that galvanizing moment. We talk about that all the time. And hey, if
you're gonna fire him, now's the time to fire him.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that was episode 350. Host Ked, co-host Brownie.
Just under an hour.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I gotta go to hockey. Brownie, everybody, thank you. Talk to you guys soon.
See ya.